Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brigette, you can call me B. Today I am going to be talking about my thoughts and opinions on Walt Disney World reopening and when we will be going back to Walt Disney World as a family. So I've decided that I need to start speaking my truth a little more, and the next few videos from me might be a little different and more who I really am and how I feel about things, not just about Disney World, but about life in general. So today we're talking about Disney World. As you guys know, I'm probably one of the biggest Disney fans on the planet. I love Walt Disney World. I love going to Walt Disney World. We are annual pass holders, DVC members. We have in the past spent probably a third of our year in Disney World, going every month to Disney World. We live in Georgia, so you know it's pretty easy for us to go down there. So yes, I am a huge fan of Disney and Walt Disney World in general. That being said, I do want to talk about my opinion on Walt Disney World reopening right now during this pandemic. There's a lot of different opinions out there on it. Some people think, you know, it's safer than grocery stores, so why not go? So not so sunny over here. So anyway, there's a lot of different opinions out there about whether Disney should have opened or not. And the first thing I want to say is, this is my opinion. I am perfectly fine with other people having different opinions. I respect those opinions. I'm not here to judge anyone with what they decide to do. I think everyone has a right to do what they're comfortable with for their family, and this is just my opinion. I'm not going to judge you if you have a different opinion, and hopefully you're not going to judge me for having this opinion, because that's all it is. I also want to say that I'm only talking about Walt Disney World's reopening. I do realize that the other theme parks in the area have also reopened. We don't go to those theme parks. I've been to Universal once and didn't really like it that much, except for Harry Potter World. I love Harry Potter World. And I've never been to SeaWorld or any of the other parks that are in the area. So this is, you know, this channel is about Disney. I blog about Disney. So I am just talking about Walt Disney World. My feelings on the other parks opening are the same, basically, but I'm just talking about Walt Disney World today. So let's get into it. When Disney World first announced, or let's go back, when Florida first announced that the theme parks could reopen back in June, I think maybe it was late May, beginning of June, and Universal and SeaWorld all gave their plans in and said they were opening right away within a week or so, and all that. And Walt Disney World said, no, we're waiting till mid-July. We're gonna do what we can to make everything safe as possible, and we're gonna wait till mid-July. I was really happy with that decision because I felt like they were making a statement of, we want to see what happens with these other parks opening and how it goes, and then we're going to make a decision on whether we want to open or not for real, you know. We're going to take this time to make sure everything's as safe as possible. I do truly believe that Walt Disney World has everyone's safety in mind. I do believe that they are trying to do everything as safe as possible. Whether as safe as possible is good enough is another story, but I do believe that Walt Disney World always has safety in mind with everything they do. I do think that. And I was really happy that they decided to wait, because it was my thought, and this may not even be true, it was my idea in my head that they were waiting because they wanted to see what would happen. Because when they first opened Universal on that, there wasn't a lot. Like, it seemed like Florida was doing okay as far as the pandemic was going, and it seemed like Disney was kind of saying, well, we're gonna see how it goes when they open, and hopefully it'll go okay, and then we can open too. Fast forward to the beginning of July, and Florida has become one of the major hotspots. I'm gonna say Georgia's pretty bad too, but not as bad as Florida, but one of the major hotspots in the country for coronavirus. And I'm very surprised that Disney's like decided to still open. I feel like the cast members are being put at risk, and it's not fair to them to have to be put in this situation. And with the case numbers going so high, so fast, like 15,000 cases a day, 10,000 new cases a day, it just, in my opinion, seems like reopening things is the reason that that happened, and reopening theme parks is one of the things that is creating all of this, even though they're trying to be safe, and they say they're safe, and they seem safe, and they're doing what they can. Can't totally control this virus, and it's not safe. So I was just very, very surprised that they decided to go ahead and continue with their reopening plans when things got so bad in Florida. What I feel they should have done, and again, just my opinion, but what I feel they should have done, like if they have to reopen, okay, I know cast members need their jobs, they need to work, they need income, Disney World wants to survive, all of that business part of it, I understand. So maybe they could have opened to locals, people who are in that area already, who have annual passes and who are going out in that area anyway and around to grocery stores and, you know, whatever else is open, restaurants and things. If they're already out and about in that area and they live in that area, then open to them, because they can come and go to the parks and do the stuff. But why open the hotels and the parks to people from other states, where they're coming in, say they're coming in from a state that has even more coronavirus, so they're potentially bringing it there with them and then spreading it around more, or if they're coming from a state that has less coronavirus, they're risking themselves and they're risking their families, and they're risking bringing it back and spreading and making the virus worse in the state that they live in. It just doesn't make sense to me that they opened up for people coming from other states. Don't start spreading it to the other states that are doing better now by letting people come from other states. That's my opinion. I think that they dropped the ball there, and I think that they should have held off on opening it up to people from other states. I know it's not open to other countries, because nobody from any other country in their right mind is going to come to this country at this point. But I think that it's okay if you live in that state and you want to go to the parks and you're low risk and you're not, you know, you're not bringing it home to people, or you're basically self-quarantining, or, you know, doing as little as possible in between. You're not sharing it with other people, you're not going around to other states and spreading it. And if you live right there and you're local, then, you know, go. But why, I don't know, I just don't understand why you would want to risk, one, getting it if you're coming from another state, and two, bringing it back to the state you came from and spreading it even more. It just doesn't make sense to me, and that's how I feel about it. And I just wanted to get that out there with you guys. I don't judge you for going if you want to go, you know, even if you're in another state and you decide you want to fly down there. I don't know why you'd want to fly either at this point, but that's just me. So I was never a big fan of flying to begin with. But yeah, I mean, you know, wearing the masks is good, and I've seen, you know, I've seen lots of videos of the people that are going there, and it looks like they're trying their best to keep the social distancing thing. But, you know, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect situation. I've seen videos with crowds in stores where people were like right next to each other and squeezing past one another, and I've seen, you know, lines at rides where people were clearly not social distancing. I mean, it happens. It's not a perfect world, and the more people you bring in from the outside area, the worse it's gonna get all around the country. So I just feel like, you know, you do you. You live how you want to live and how you feel your life should be lived. But for me, I just don't see it. First of all, I don't think that theme parks are an essential business at this point. Some people may argue that in Florida they are an essential business because they are the, you know, it's an area where it's a tourist attraction area. But for other people from other states, it's just not a necessity. And I feel like people should be taking this seriously and not doing things that aren't necessary. That's how I feel about it. So anyway, as for when we will be going to Disney World, we will not be going anytime soon. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know when we'll be going. Hopefully people will be wearing masks and this virus will go away a lot sooner than they predict it will. But I have asthma, I'm high risk. I'm also, you know, 51 years old, so that's another high risk thing, not as high risk as my mom, who also lives here, who's nearly 80. She's high risk, so I certainly don't want to bring anything home to her. 2 of my daughters have asthma. I don't want them having problems even though they're young. So, you know, for us it's not worth it to go. It's not, we can enjoy our summer together as a family, staying home, close to home, going on little hikes in the woods and you know, having fun together. We don't need to go to an amusement park to have a good summer. So we can survive without Walt Disney World for a year if we have to. I don't want to. I miss it. I miss it so much. I'm seeing the people there and I miss it a lot. It makes me kind of sad, but you know, the health and safety of my family is much more important to me than going to a theme park. When we go, I do not know. I also haven't decided yet if we're going to renew our annual passes, which are set to expire the end of August, although I think we're getting an extra 30 days, so now it's the end of September. Maybe by the end of September this will all be gone and it'll be safe to go places. I'm not, you know, holding my breath for that, but not the way things are going right now, but you know, we'll see. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention, if you don't know, in addition to my regular bjensen.com, I also have a new website called Simply Hygge Life, and I talk all about happiness and living a mindful Hygge life and creating a life of joy and happiness and peace, and that's what that's all about. Hygge, if you don't know, I do describe it on there, but it is the Danish concept of coziness and contentment and just this atmosphere that they create of, I don't even know how to, it's best described as coziness, but go read the blog, I'll put it down here, simplyhyggelife.com, and I also have a shop that goes along with it. I'm so excited. I opened this shop just last week. It's called the Hygge Nook, and I'll put a link, well, I won't put a link, I'll put a link in the description, but I'll write across here, it's the Hygge Nook, and it is things that I've created. I love creating designs and things and getting my artistic side out, so there's t-shirts, there's mugs, all kinds of things for coziness, and they're motivational, inspirational. There is some Disney stuff there. There's also printables, like downloadable prints that you can download and print however you want, however big, however small, whatever. So you can hang them on the wall. There's some Disney stuff in there as well. I will be adding more Disney stuff, but yeah, go check it out. The Hygge Nook. Thanks, guys. Oh, and first-time buyers, use code FIRST at checkout and you will get 10% off your first order. I also want to say that I feel like part of the magic of Disney World, for me anyway, is the escape from reality and the escape from the real world, and you know, the whole Disney bubble idea. And to go and to see everyone in masks and to see everyone like far apart and there's no crowds, and I feel like it's just gonna lack in magic, and it's just gonna be like a smack in the face of what reality really is. As much as I'd probably enjoy being able to ride a lot of rides because there's not real long wait times, or you know, eating at some of my favorite restaurants there, it's not, I don't think it will be as magical. And I hope that people who have like huge trips planned and are thinking, you know, trying to decide, should we go on our big trip? You know, if it's your first trip, if it's your once in a lifetime trip to Disney World, I really seriously hope you're reconsidering, because you won't experience what Disney World truly is in this situation. And it would be such a shame for you to spend all that money and not experience what it truly is. People who go all the time, you know, if you want to go ahead. Just you know, quarantine when you get home for 2 weeks so that you don't spread it to everyone in your town when you go out and do stuff when you get home. Those are my thoughts on Walt Disney World reopening. I'm sure all of you have your own thoughts on it. You're welcome to comment below. Try to stay nice. Don't make it political. I don't know why this virus has become political, but it's not a political thing. It's a health and safety issue. Be safe, please. If you want to go do what you want to do. It's your life. You have that right. But stay safe. Keep your family safe. Keep your friends safe. Keep your neighbors safe. And do everything you can. Wear your masks. Use hand sanitizer. You know, keep your distance. Do everything you possibly can. And be nice to those cast members who are out there every day having to work in this situation. I really feel for them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Sorry if you don't like my opinion. You don't have to like my opinion. It's okay. I love Disney World. You love Disney World. We can all love Disney World and have different opinions. Give me a thumbs up. Give a comment below. Just keep it nice. And subscribe to my channel. There's going to be a lot more, like I said, a lot more realness. I'm going to be talking a lot more about things that are important in life, my ideas and happiness, and so stay tuned for all that. And of course Disney. I'll always talk about Disney. And I do hope I get to go back soon. So everyone that is going, please do the right thing, do the right stuff, so that the virus doesn't spread anymore, so that I can get back to the Disney World that I love so much, okay? Have a magical day, guys. Bye.